Managing concomitant medications within clinical trials is in fact a critical and a complex process. The World Health Organization drug database contains over 7,500 generic drugs, and to add to this complexity we have numerous brand names and trade names and drugs that are in compound formations. This makes it extremely difficult for those in contact with the protocol drug rules, including the monitors, the investigators, the site staff and primary care physicians, to actively manage protocol medication rules. Protocols are also becoming increasingly complicated. There are drug rules based upon metabolic considerations such as the cytochrome P450 system. Some protocols include exclusions based on QTc interval and cardiac safety. Other protocols exclude categories such as drugs that may have an impact on the cholinergic system. This becomes extremely difficult for people to manage, and as the length of trials increases, the physicians involved in clinical trials have to continually refer back to the protocol. It's therefore not surprising that errors are quite common in managing medications. The history of CliniSafe development was highly dependent upon investigator site involvement. Most of the IT systems that have been adopted by the pharmaceutical industry over the last decade they've involved IT departments, quality assurance and biostatistical departments in a top-down approach. CliniSafe was a system that was developed by the investigator sites. We knew there was a problem in matching patients together with the concomitant medication drug rules in the protocol, not just at screening and at randomisation, but throughout the whole length of the study. It was a problem that our investigators and our site staff were constantly faced with. One of the major benefits of the CliniSafe system is to improve patient safety in the clinical trial environment. Technologies can reduce and even eliminate error. However, in the clinical trial environment, it isn't possible to adopt these systems because of the nature of the protocol. The FDA's trend towards stricter safety standards led ourselves to look very, very closely at how concomitant medications were managed. One of the difficulties is the ability to transfer the information that's gained during the preclinical development into the clinical arena. If you're looking at the cause of prescribing errors, then they fall into four main categories. First of all, the patient could be prescribed an inappropriate medication. This may be because the drug is contraindicated or the patient has an allergy to that drug. Errors can occur because of pharmaceutical issues. For example, intravenous infusion could be mixed at the wrong concentration. Prescribing errors also occur because of failure to communicate essential information, and this may be writing the wrong dose or the wrong route, or even ineligible writing. And transcription errors, such as not prescribing a drug when a patient's admitted into hospital or discharged from a hospital, can also cause issues. The role of the hospital pharmacist in healthcare systems is very well established in minimising prescribing errors. However, in clinical trials, the hospital pharmacist rarely gets access to the clinical trial protocol concomitant medication rules, and these would equate or be equivalent to what would be contraindicated medications. Therefore, changing the way in which information is delivered to the hospital pharmacists by providing this in an electronic manner is a major advantage than the current paper-based methodologies that are in use. How do I see technology in relation to the future of clinical trials? At my commencement back in the 90s, we had central ECG reading and IVRS systems. Now, of course, technology is an integral part of the drug discovery and development process. One of the emerging trends that can be seen is the diversity of solutions that are becoming available, some of which now are covering more niche areas. And this is because the sponsors have shown increasing interest in areas that can have benefits in cost reduction or can increase efficiencies and shorten cycle times. In 2004, we began to look at how technology could give operational personnel a fighting chance of successfully managing concomitant medications within clinical trials. We were convinced that the ability to react in a timely manner was crucial, and the goal was for the end user to have access to information that made them immediately aware of potential issues that could impact the safety of the patients or the quality of the data. The longer the problem remained unidentified, the smaller the chance of a successful resolution. As such, CliniSafe eliminates queries and problems at their root cause. The solution to concomitant medication management in clinical trials is not as simple as it might first appear. It's possible to polish a single cog to improve safety, but a realistic alternative is to redesign the whole system, recognising it's being driven by its interconnectedness. In the past, the approach to improving medicine safety has been to take a type of error and try to reduce its frequency. CliniSafe, however, was designed as a safety system, and as patient safety research has shown, it's important that we look at the whole system, which is exactly what we did. Introducing electronic medication management systems to provide operational support in clinical trials brings additional complexity. General purpose health products aren't practical solutions without a dedicated, purpose-built clinical trial application module. In clinical trials, the need to manage information based on complex study protocol introduces a new dimension to how electronic medication management systems are used to process information. Electronic medication management systems are therefore required to be study-centric systems.